We will now cover how to request permission to do temple ordinances for relatives who were born less than 110 years ago. Requesting permission is a way of allowing close family members the privilege of performing ordinances for those that they knew and associated with an individual during his or her lifetime. Requesting permission is necessary to not offend living relatives who do not wish temple work to be done. We do not want to create bad feelings towards our church. Don't assume that you can give permission to do the ordinance work just because you may be the only family member who is a member of the church. You still must receive permission from a close living relative, and there are ways of finding living people. A close living relative is defined as the following: an undivorced spouse, an adult child, a parent, or a sibling. If no close living relatives exist to grant permission, you can still request permission to do ordinances, but be prepared to provide evidence that no living close relatives exist. When you click on the individual's ordinances, you will see Request Permission, and by clicking on this box, I have permission, you will then go to this frame. A request ordinance form will come up in which you will indicate whether the spouse of the individual is alive, if they didn't have a spouse, or if they have an ex-spouse who is still living. If you indicate that the spouse is still living, then you're going to be asked to submit the spouse's name and their contact information. And below that, you will indicate what kind of permission that you received, whether it was written, verbal, or whether you didn't get permission. In the case that the spouse is not living, you'll be asked to indicate which relative gave you that permission. Was it a parent, a child, a sibling, or none of the above is alive? Then you will indicate what kind of permission, whether it was written or verbal. You will furnish your contact information and check this box indicating that you understand that FamilySearch reserves the right to contact the person giving the permission if necessary, and then finally submit. You will receive an email about your request. Their answer may be one of the following. If FamilySearch approves your request, that name is added automatically to your family name list where you can print the family name card. If your request requires further information, you will need to provide that. Or FamilySearch may decline your request and you can still reply to the email or reopen the case. Perhaps you might wonder what to say when you ask someone who is not a member of our faith about doing temple ordinances. Here is an example of how to approach family members who are not members of our church. I am a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I am seeking your permission to submit and then insert the person's name to the temple. In the temple, we perform sacred ordinances for our loved ones who have passed away. It would be my gift to him or her, and I would be honored. I will respect whatever you say and will hold no hard feelings if you decline. This is a wonderful way to state permission request so that the individual knows that you're doing it out of love for that relative.